BLAPCHAT. No Atlas. BLAPCHAT.
No
BLAPCHat. Atlas's tone is missing.
It is.
That's what was missing. Yeah, he has that like low, like Atlas worldly tone.
Yeah, it's
just not the same without him.
Definitely missing today.
The intro. Well, anyway, guys, what's up? Welcome to BLAPCHAT, episode 64. Right, Josh? Josh knows. Episode 64, man. This is an all music production podcast here. I go by the name of Illmind. I'm here with my amazing co-hosts.
Good lyrics and music. Glam, how are you today?
Fire. We're good.
And it's perfection.
Oh, yes.
I'm mad simple.
Wait.
It's perfection.
Yeah.
It's perfection.
You don't have to explain.
No
like,
explanation necessary.
That, you know?
We're here.
First of all, appreciate you guys for tuning in. For those of you who have been following us, highly appreciated. This is episode 64, so, you know, if you guys have been following us from the beginning, covered a lot of shit. There's a lot of really amazing, there were a lot of amazing people that we've interviewed, and we have so much more to go. We have a really great guest today, so shout to all my music producers out there, audio engineers, rappers, singers, or even if you're just like a casual listener, you know, if you're not doing music and you fuck with the podcast, and, you know, hopefully our podcast inspires you. So yeah, appreciate you guys for tuning in, subscribing. If you are on iTunes, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and don't be afraid to leave comments.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
I stopped myself. I know I can't say it as good.
Don't be shy. And you know, if you're on SoundCloud, also again, don't be shy. Leave comments on the SoundCloud. Let us know what you guys think. Ask questions. Tweet us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hit us on social media. Follow our social media at BLAPCHAT, and we're gonna rock it like that. So man, a lot's happening. A lot has happened. This is episode 64. So before you walked in, me and Glam and Preach, actually, we were talking about the fact that, like, when music is released nowadays, it's just like old so quickly. So like we're talking about how, like, and obviously this is no disrespect to Migos, but like Migos just dropped an album, and like it's
no
like
one's
old.
Talking about it.
Yeah, it's like old already now,
right.
Like to certain people. So I think that's like kind of what the question is like how long does an album have to come out to be considered old? Like, is Huncho Jack an old album, even though that came out like pretty much less than a month ago?
I think it's old in the conversation.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know. To me, I think it takes a couple of months. It takes some time for it to be considered old. You know what I mean? Like, if we're talking about an album that came out, like, let's say last February, that's like old. That's like a whole year.
Yeah.
But I think it's mainly nowadays old in conversation before anything, you know, because it's like Huncho Jack just dropped, and then it's like, okay, the conversation was like Culture 2 is about to come out. When is it going to come out? This and that. Then they had a release date. Then it dropped. Now it's like, okay, cool. Songs are dope.
Right.
What's next? Who's dropping next?
Here's another question. Glam, you were talking about Chris Brown album, right? The slew of songs that he released.
Right.
And there's some jams on there.
Yep.
Right.
Considered old now.
Yeah,
right?
and it just came out, and it's like that was what, arguably like less than a year ago. Like,
Yeah, that was in December, wasn't it?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that, and then sometimes I think it is kind of in the conversation. Like, no, it definitely is in the conversation, but I think it's the rate that the speed that we're at right now, where like everyone's just like eating it and like not really digesting, and what it's like being like forced and like pushed into our faces, and then it's just like, all right, you've down that, all right, now this. So you don't have any time to, like, consumers don't really have time to consume anymore. It's just like kind of we're being fed like really fast. So that's why it's like you'll look at a song and it'll be like, dang, October 2017, dang, that was a minute ago, when it really wasn't. Like, that just happened. But like in industry years, that's pretty old.
Yeah, it's true.
Social media years.
Social media.
I think.
Here's my theory. Here's my theory about this whole shit. Like, I think now at this point in 2018, most human beings that are on social media, we fuck with Twitter, Instagram. I'll just use those two for example. And when you think about like how both of those platforms work, it's all very quick. So like we're like refreshing the newest picture or like refreshing the newest tweet. And so like tweets from an hour ago are like really, really old.
Yeah.
Yeah. In case you missed it.
In case
Yep.
that was an hour ago.
Yeah.
Right? So like I think
So much has
our
happened.
brains so much has happened in an hour. So like I think our brains are like kind of being programmed to like treat the music the same way, where it's like, damn, that shit came out last week, that's old now. Which is like pretty fucked up, you know what I mean?
And I think
it's interesting.
I think it kind of sucks too, because it programs people's minds to think in a way that they don't need to. Yep. Like you're constantly trying to rush to do the next thing, or like compete with the next person, or release the next thing, where it's like people aren't taking their time and like focusing on quality, right? Because we are being fed so much shit.
Yeah.
You know?
It's crazy. I was in the studio recently with this producer. I'm not gonna name names, and I was like, yo, play some stuff, play me some shit. And he was like, oh man, nah, I got all like old stuff, like old shit. I was like, nah, play that stuff. Like how old? How long ago did you make it? And in my mind, I'm thinking like 2 years, 3 years old, 4 years old. He was like, yeah, man, nah, I made these last month.
Yeah.
Last month?
That's
them
fairly
joints
new.
are old? Unless you're making beats every day. So like that's just again, shit is getting old really quick. I think that's like kind of approaching like an interesting, like dangerous territory in terms of content.
You have
a little
to
bit.
keep up with it.
Yeah.
You have to keep up with. You
gotta keep up.
You have to keep up. I feel like the only people that are like Drake's keeping up, Migos keeping up. You know what I'm saying?
But this is what I do think, and I'm glad you brought up Drake. Like, I think with Drake, his content and his music is so impactful that like people continue to keep talking about his stuff, and therefore that doesn't make it like old. You know what I mean?
No, people break it down. They have like
God's Plan was still
breakdown.
his new single.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still look at it being new
Yeah.
because it's
Me
still
too.
I
Me
love
too.
that track.
I think
I love
it's
that
new.
shit.
I
Yo,
think it's
shout
new
to
too.
Cardo, shout
Yeah,
to Boy
facts.
Wonder, killing that track. Even the other shit too, the other single.
Diplomatic Immunity.
Yeah.
I like both of them.
Drake is a beast. Drake
I
is
listen
an
to
animal.
God's Plan in the morning, and it makes me feel really good.
Yeah. Drake shot a video. Did you guys see the footage?
Yeah, with
No.
the
At
kids.
the high school. Looks good. Looks like it'll be a good video.
I'm excited for. I think this is gonna be one of the best years in hip hop
It will.
in a couple years.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like everybody's dropping.
Everyone.
Like when you think of people who haven't dropped in a minute, like you still got Kanye working.
Kanye's
in
working.
the studio.
Kanye's working.
Nicki Minaj still hasn't dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Drake needs to drop.
Drake's gonna
I think
drop
Big
something.
Sean is gonna eventually drop something this year.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
he's going on tour soon. Who else? Pusha T.
All right, so we
what's
got
up with
Big
him?
Sean. We got Kanye. We got Pusha T. We probably have. I'm thinking Migos is gonna drop again.
Sometimes towards
Uzi
maybe
will
like
probably drop again.
Future is probably gonna drop
Future's
again.
definitely dropping
I
some
haven't-
shit.
Yeah.
2
Yeah, I
Chainz is
heard
dropping an EP.
Yep.
And if you're listening to this right now, go get that Black Panther album. That just
Facts.
dropped.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah, yep. I produced
Word.
the song X on there featuring 2 Chainz and Schoolboy Q and Saudi. So I hope you enjoy that.
Lit.
Yeah,
You don't
it's
get
lit.
any alarms for yourself? No horns for yourself?
Oh, you know
Word.
what? Fuck that. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
No.
That was the most quiet-
Stop the music. Stop
Quiet
That was the
resume
most
drop.
low-key,
That was the
yeah.
most quiet
Stop.
resume drop I've ever heard in my life.
Why you being a dickhead fool?
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much.
Stop the presses. Listen, go get that Black Panther, man. I produced X on there. First of all, shout to my man Soundwave. Soundwave is like a low-key legend to me, basically. Like he's been with TDE and Kendrick and them from like day one, like nurturing their sound. Like he's pretty much like Drake's. He's pretty much Kendrick's 40. Like,
right.
like that guy. So yeah, shout to Soundwave, man. He called me up. I don't talk about my placements enough.
You should.
Funny enough. But Soundwave hit me up last year, might have been a year and a half ago, and we just started collaborating. That was it. And then he called me up and he's like, yo, I think we caught something. he didn't tell me who it was for. I was like, I know, I kind of have an idea of what
I
it
know.
is. And then when I got the paperwork, obviously it listed everyone, and I was like, oh, okay, we doing that. So shout the Soundwave. Let me give one of these though. You know what I mean? Bat Signal had to call had to call me for that, and I'm appreciative. So yeah, go get that Black Panther. I think this is gonna be a good project for TDE. Which track are you guys excited about? Because I know you guys seen that track listing.
I've seen it, but I haven't dove into it yet.
Yeah.
There's too much
What do you
going
guys
on,
think of the
but
singles?
I like what I've seen.
Yeah.
I'll say that. I like what
The
I've
video is fire.
Isn't
by
there
the way.
one-
This is a shit.
Isn't there one track that is Beyonce vocals on it?
No. So there's the SZA and Kendrick. All the
I'm
stars.
excited to hear that.
All the stars.
There's
It's
a
out.
video.
I haven't heard
There's a
it
video.
yet.
Yeah, you should-
I
you should hear
haven't
it.
really tapped into it
Yeah, you
yet.
should
I've
hear it.
seen the clips of the video, but I haven't really dove
Yeah.
in. And
Yeah. It's just
think-
quality.
yeah, I think SZA is great.
Love SZA. It's just quality all around. And then there's the Weeknd and Kendrick single that came out, and that's fire. I love that. And then the Mike Will Made It produced J-Rock and Kendrick.
Yeah, I
That's
like that
fire.
track.
Yeah,
I think that's a
fire
dope
too.
track.
Yeah,
King's
so-
Dead, right?
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys heard, but the Black Panther movie almost has like a flawless score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, 100. I heard it
100.
almost. Yeah, 100.
100% rating.
Really?
100,
Yeah.
not 99. I heard it has 100 on Rotten Tomatoes. They say
Wow.
that doesn't happen
It's crazy.
with that. So
It's
congrats.
crazy.
This is definitely
I'm ready to watch the movie.
Yeah,
I can't. It's sold out like everywhere.
it is.
So
is.
I'm
It
waiting
didn't
like
even come
2
out
weeks.
yet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I'm
next week.
waiting like 2 weeks.
So
3 weeks.
soundtrack is out now. Go get that. And movie comes out next week on Friday. Oh, maybe Thursday. Sometimes movies come out Thursdays, right? Yeah, so it's exciting. So man, we had a really exciting week. If you guys have been following my snaps, I was doing a little thing, a little secret meeting with Gary V. Shout to Gary V. Let me
Word.
give him a fucking air horn. This is crazy. But yeah, man, we got something in the works with Gary, bro. That guy is just he's an animal. He is an animal. Being around him, yeah. He's got some shit in the works that I think people will be like surprised and I think like really excited. I obviously can't give anything away, but what I can say is that he's cooking something, and it involves music, and that's all I can say. But it's pretty exciting. So shout to Gary, shout to all my guys over there, Tyler, Babin, D-Rock, and all you guys, man. You guys are super awesome. Flame emojis for you guys. Gary V. A lot of people calling me the Gary V of producers. I don't like that, man.
Why?
You know, because like I just don't like being compared to people. You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't I just be fucking Illmind?
Illmind of
Yeah.
producers.
Like, you know? I mean, listen, Gary definitely inspired me. It put the battery in my back to go harder, especially on YouTube.
Right.
But you know, this has been something that I've always wanted to do for a while, since 2010, 2011. You know, so but I appreciate the love. It's all good. Oh, okay, I got something for you guys. You guys have seen my Twitter account. Apparently,
Somebody stealing your shit.
oh, let me stop the music. Let me stop. We
I have
talking
to
shit
turn
today.
the music off.
Somebody stealing your shit, bruh.
Hold on.
Yeah, this is
Hold-
epic. This is something
Hold the
deep.
phone. Let me start with this.
I thought you were gonna say hold the fuck up.
Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up. So this is what happened. I'm not even mad, to be honest with you, but saw a video on Instagram. It was a clip of a beat battle somewhere. I forget where, but apparently it's like kind of like a big beat battle in this city. And I'm watching the clip, and these two guys battling, and then the guy drops the beat, and it's one of my beats from SoundCloud from 4 years ago. In fact, it was from Boom Trap Volume 3. And so he drops the beat, and I'm like, in the beginning when he drops it, I'm like, wait, okay.
Like, that's
so
hot.
he used that. Okay, so maybe he flipped the same sample I did. Okay,
Right.
cool. And then his drop came in, which came
AKA
in
your drop.
over my shit. No, he like dubbed it over my shit. I'm like, okay. And then the beat dropped, and it was like my shit to the T. Like nothing changed. Like it was just pretty much my beat. Like copy.
So he just performed your beat.
He
live.
performed my beat. So I get tagged. I get tagged on it, and this guy's like, "Yo, is this? Am I bugging, or is this your track?" And then that's how I found out. And then apparently I hear through the grapevine that homie won the beat battle
With your
using
beat.
my
Like cough
beats.
up my 500.
Right. So so he won, and apparently he dropped like 4 Illmind beats like in the final round.
Damn.
That would have
Right.
been funny if his
Right.
dumbass would have left your fucking tag in there, like, Illmind mixed it.
But how about the dumbass judge?
See, okay,
No,
so
I mean,
this
like,
is
where's
where
that's what I'm saying.
this is where I get like kind of annoyed, but like it's whatever. Like it's
Right.
not a big deal to me at the end of the day. But like, why didn't anyone notice?
That's what I'm saying. How
You know what I'm
how savvy are these judges? If they like, how up are they on their producer game? Are they if like they didn't know
Yeah,
like that?
I don't know if it was like a crowd judge or like an actual judge panel, but so apparently he won and like he took the prize and he took all the shit. So I didn't want to like
Pop his bubble.
go. Yeah, I didn't want to like call him out and be like, yo, but I did.
That would
That's
have been great.
But I
would've-
did go on Twitter and go on a little rant.
Oh.
But I didn't want to like put his name out there or whatever. Like
He
people
saw
want
it.
to do their research, they know he saw it, whatever. I was basically saying like, yo, like that's basically the equivalent of like, going to Canal Street and copying like a bootleg Gucci. Like, you're gonna
Yeah.
copy and paste my
Copy
shit,
and
you know what I
paste,
mean?
yeah.
But then I went on a tangent about people that like download my drum kits, repackage them, and then resell them on their own e-commerce website and pocket the money, which is illegal, by the way. Like you can go to jail for that if I get my lawyer on you. So that's a separate thing. But and
You're
you
like that's
deserve
a
this.
legal matter.
That's a legal matter. You're not allowed to do that. You're going to jail.
Going to jail.
Yeah. No pass and go, straight to jail. So then like I went on this little rant, and then I basically said like, yo, like to the dude that stole my beats for the beat battle, like I'm not even mad at you, cause like I'm not a fan of like kicking people while they're down. So I was like, yo, at this point you just gotta really just accept the fact that you fucked up, and like you gotta move forward and figure out how you can become a better human being. You know what I mean? That's what I
Ew.
said. And I was like,
I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
yeah, like I'm disappointed in you, bro.
You told
Like,
him that?
No, I didn't add him because I didn't know who he
DM'd
was.
him, like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
between
nah.
me and you.
Yeah.
On some real shit. No,
Between me
No,
and you.
I wanted to kind of like publicly
humiliate.
not
without,
humiliate him.
No.
No, that's the last thing I wanted to do.
Yeah, true,
trust
true.
me, I easily could have did that shit. But I
Violate.
I didn't want to. I'm not like, I don't really find joy in like bringing someone down like that. But I will say that like that's pretty much the lowest thing you can do, especially if you
Yeah.
like play someone else's beats and then like happily take the prize home.
Like,
You know
you're
what I mean?
okay with
like,
that.
all right, cool. Like,
So,
I earned it.
can
You know,
you
so
send me this clip?
I mean, I'm not really in a
Oh.
position to like,
I wanna
like
see
put energy into it. But
Right,
you'll
true.
see it. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll show you later. But
I just
but
wanna
yeah, man.
see. Like you can see the guy's face. Like, do you see him vibing? Like he dropped it. Like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
No, he did in the clip.
Damn.
It's clear. He's like, so
wow.
don't do that, guys.
That's
don't,
not cool.
It's not cool.
Especially if you get caught.
Yeah.
And who knows how many times he's done that since he's so fucking confident.
Yeah. So listen, if you're a producer and you've done this before, you
Don't.
might be a little nervous right now because you might get discovered, and you should feel fucking bad for yourself for doing that. Shame on you. If you've
Shame,
stolen,
shame.
yeah, shame. You know what?
Yeah.
Fuck off. Yeah, that's for
Pretty
you.
much.
Ready? Listen, scary times right now for you. If you've stolen beats and played them at beat battles and posed as your own and won or lost, Karma. Right?
Yeah.
Just doesn't feel good.
Yeah, because he won things.
He won things. He won cash. There was a
he
cash
won
prize.
things.
No,
By
it's
the
not.
way, there was a cash prize.
That's not even the most important part
Low
about
key,
it.
I won that battle.
That's what I'm saying. You won a battle. You wasn't even there.
I wasn't even there. I didn't even
worst-
ask to be there, and I won.
The worst part about it is not that he won anything. It's the fact that he made people think that that was his shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that he fooled the people.
Yeah.
This had to be like in somewhere like this had to be like a small town or something.
It might, yeah. I mean, it was a random. It was. I don't
something
remember
random,
where. I
yeah.
don't remember where. But listen. Shout to the guys that put the beat battle together. Obviously, they didn't know.
Yeah.
They didn't know. People weren't aware. And
this
to
dude's
homie G who won the battle and used my beats, like, man, just
Best
think
of
about
luck
what you
to
did,
you,
man.
bro.
Like,
Do better.
Like, you gotta if producing is your passion, man. Like, you better like go back to the drawing board, go back to the lab, regroup, rethink, reevaluate like what you just did, find redemption in yourself, and muster up the courage to try to bounce back from this. But this is a huge impact on you, man.
I have a question.
Life is different now.
Word.
So
I have a question. I was talking about this with someone the other day, and I thought of you because it was like Jay Dilla's birthday, right?
yeah, it was.
Yesterday.
By the way, happy birthday, Jay.
Yeah,
Word.
yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
So it made me think of you in the sense of you know how you said like he was like a big inspiration to you and your production and things like that, and you studied him. So I was having this conversation with a friend the other day in regards to like studying your craft and like digging deep, you know, for like the younger cats out now that are focused on like, how can I say it?
Just like the now sound.
You know, and the fact that like, you know, everything's on the internet now. How was it for you studying? Like, what was your definition of like studying like your favorite producers or like your craft?
So me studying was listening to a lot of old shit. Like the fact that like when I started making beats, I was like sampling pretty much. Like I wasn't really like playing keyboards.
Yeah.
I wasn't really working with musicians. So like I was literally just trying to be Dilla and trying to be Pete Rock and like sample-based producers. So I would just go record shopping and just like downloading songs and stuff. And then I would go out of my way to find out like who was like the producers, like who were the musicians. And then I would like focus on those people and then find like their catalog.
Right.
So it was just a lot of research and then like figuring out like who's doing what, and then like, you know, like accessing their entire catalog, like Manny Fresh, for instance. Like when I started getting into his shit and like Cash Money and all that, that was my shit. Like I was just like, oh shit, who's Manny Fresh? Like,
Right.
why does his shit sound like this? And like I found out like where he's from and like started to listen to like his whole catalog. I'm like, oh, okay, it makes sense, you know? So like for me it was like, okay, I like that sound, I like listening to that, I'm gonna try to make that.
Right.
So I do believe in like mimicking in the very beginning. Like I believe in like mimicking stuff until the point where like you gain that skill and
do
then
it your way.
and then you do it
Yeah.
your way without even knowing you're doing
Right.
it your way. I think that's like when you really discover like your sound is when you don't even realize you do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like that's what's helped me. Like I know how to do like hardcore like Mobb Deep type shit because I studied Havoc and like RZA, right? And it's just like being from Jersey and being from like the East Coast, like that's just like my shit. But then like I know how to do like cool pop bouncy kind of stuff, listening to like Teddy Riley and like Quincy Jones with like MJ type stuff.
Quincy Jones, speaking of which,
Oh,
was crazy
man.
That was-
interview.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
so,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
How about
Oh,
because
let
of
me ask
Twitter?
you something
I've
real
never
quick.
even
Do you,
seen it.
do you believe everything he's saying? I kind of do.
I kind of
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
I do. I think I do.
I feel like he has no reason.
He has no reason to lie. He's too rich. And not even about him being too rich. It's just like
No, he's
why would
It's
he?
been long
why?
enough.
Right,
I feel
yeah.
like it's been long enough.
I think Maul tweeted. I think it was Maul from Joe Budden podcast. He was like Quincy's at the end of the road. He don't give a fuck. Like,
Yeah.
he's just, you know what I mean? He must be at the end of the road.
And it's old news, all of that, in a sense. Like, a lot of that stuff happened in
It
the
happened
early
already.
80s,
God, like-
70s, 80s,
And some of those
90s.
people
So
are
it's like-
alive.
They're not even alive.
Some people are. Some of those people.
I believe them.
Which is probably like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like for them, like they don't even have a moment to like, hey, I didn't want that
Yeah.
to be known.
The
But
Ivanka Trump stuff is
Yeah.
bananas, though. I
how
mean,
about I haven't even like seen this interview or heard this interview, but Twitter has like already let me know
Yeah.
like what's happened.
I didn't even read the interview. I just saw clips, and then I ended up reading the
I
whole
heard
thing from
outrageous
clips.
things.
Yeah, so, but you know, shout to Quincy. Obviously, I'm not like co-signing or not co-signing anything.
Right.
It's just, it is what it is. He
He
said
said
what
a lot of
said.
interesting things, though. I don't think I screenshot
There's something I did
anything.
heard, but I don't know if
He
I wanna
talked
say it
about
on air.
He
talked
talked-
about
yeah.
MJ stealing melodies.
But he also talked about like producers, like for instance, this one question, it was like, putting aside the quality of contemporary songs, are there any technical or sonic production techniques that feel fresh? He said no, there aren't. He said no, they ain't nothing new. The producers are lazy and greedy.
I low-key agree
And
with
they
him.
said, how does that laziness manifest itself? He says, listen to the music. These guys don't know what they're doing. You've got to respect the gift God gave you by learning your craft.
Yeah, I remember that. And then I think he went on to go to say, like, why you're doing yourself, and this is not word for word, but
Right.
he's like basically saying like you're doing yourself a disservice by not learning like the fundamentals of like composing music for
Right.
human beings,
Mm-hmm.
because like then you're not able to like express yourself, your art, and like move people the way you want to.
Very
It's almost
true.
like if I want to move someone emotionally through like a painting, but like I don't know how to paint, I should probably just like learn
how to
some of
paint.
those basics
Right.
of
Or the-
painting.
exactly.
You know what I mean? You know, I know that analogy is like debatable, but part of me agrees with Quincy on that. Like, yeah, you do need to know like what makes people move, and like certain chord progressions work, some certain like techniques work, like being able to know how to do certain things will definitely make your music better. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
But-
So
But it kind of goes back to like the conversation we were just having about like learning your craft and digging deep and studying, you know, because it's like in this day and age, like we said, it's like so much music is coming out every
is.
day, every other day. So it's like I feel like sometimes even producers have to like,
It's
you know
true.
what I mean? Like just keep it coming, keep it
It's-
coming.
yeah, I mean, and there's
Dep-
nothing wrong with that
depends.
though.
And there's nothing,
No.
and it's nothing new, but I think also coming from somebody as like credible and like as incredible as Quincy Jones, it's like he came from an era when all the instruments were in the room at the same time.
Exactly.
Everything's being played at the same time. The person is recording in the room with the band. There's like
Now
a different
everything is,
element.
like,
now
technical.
Yeah.
it's like completely digitized, and like we do have like we have like love for like live instrumentation and stuff, but it's completely digitized. And this is like no diss to like producers, because we are those
Yeah,
people.
we are
So
those
it's
people,
like
yeah.
realistically, and it's not to say, because I can agree to him to a fault, because realistically, if we really think about it, how long do you think, and this is not a diss to his craft or anything at all, because I think what he does is incredible, but how long do you think Metro spends on a beat?
Right.
like 10 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yep.
And it's still amazing, and it's
Right.
still
Shit is
amazing. It's
banging.
not to say that he doesn't know what he's doing at all, but I feel like Quincy is saying like it's okay to have your style and know that style, but at least know the fundamentals and the elements of like which it came from. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
that Metro doesn't know those things, but just him as an example, at
Yeah.
the rate that he goes, I can see him having that verbiage to say like they're kind of like, you know, lazy, but I think it's just a different way. It's just a different wave
Also,
right now.
too, he's a little out of touch, I think, as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
With
yeah.
technology,
Yes.
like I would rather be on headphones and a laptop using Symphobia and composing like a 40-piece orchestra that sounds amazing with MIDI
Right.
than like rent out a
Right.
studio
Right.
and
All
spend 10,
set- all
20
that
racks
setup,
whole thing, yeah.
doing sheet music,
That's a
hiring a
fact.
composer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
Yep.
saying one is better than the other, but what I'm saying is that technology has allowed us as producers and composers to pull stuff off that you weren't able to do, you know, back then, because it was like a lot more time consuming, a lot
Yep.
more energy. You know, it's like I always compare it to like you know, we have cell phones, but like, you know, back then people were like physically mailing stuff. Like before email,
Right.
it was like you wrote a letter.
Yep.
And you went to the post office and you mailed it out.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what are you gonna do? Like keep it real and like just mail people stuff? Like
Right.
no, you're
But
gonna.
No,
is that
you gotta keep it to the
considered-
camera.
Is that considered lazy though? Like how you said you rather sit there with like a laptop and like your headphones. Is that? Do you think that's
No.
what
I
he's
think it's a
considering
different-
lazy?
but like
In the
doesn't
sense
matter.
because you don't want to like go to the
Right.
studio and like set up a whole orchestra, you know what I
Right.
mean, or do it the organic
I think lazy.
way.
I
and-
think the laziness question is kind of irrelevant when it comes to that. I think because like it's really just always comes down to the music. Like not doesn't matter like how or when it was, you know, put together. You know
Right.
What I mean?
I
So-
think that he, I just had the thought. I feel like he's saying when he says lazy and greedy or like, as far as he did say production, but I feel like he's also talking about like content and just like overall like production quality. Like to us, it's amazing because it sounds different, but like obviously, like I said, from his time, it's just a different time gap, and like you can't always be up with it. At the end of the day, I think that's what it also says. I'm like, this is Quincy Jones, like
Right.
this is like the man, but
Yeah.
he came from an era where like bodies of work was like appreciated and it was just different. It's not the same. It's not the
not
same
the
quality of
same.
artists. It's not the same quality content. It's just not. It's not that anymore. Everybody is everywhere, and there's so many different ways to do things now.
Right.
And I think that's what it is. I think it's just a different way. I don't think it's lazy. It's like
Yeah, I don't
you
think it's
saving
lazy.
money. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right.
Like it's just like that's like saying what I'd rather, and believe it or not, yeah, people still have brooms and shit in their house when there's vacuums and other methods
I
of cleaning
definitely
up.
have a broom.
I definitely
Yeah.
still have a broom. Just something just doesn't clean up shit like a broom sometimes.
Yeah.
So
They got
I
them little
understand.
rovers now, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I got one of
You
them
got
joints.
Dysons and shit that
Dyson,
like
Life.
literally like
Swiffers.
suction off your whole
that
fucking
stuff.
wall. So I'm saying like that's knowing that, considering that, it's like I feel him, but then I'm also like, you know, he's just getting up there.
You know what? I think we're in a unique era because we are like living it in real time, but like guys like Quincy Jones and like these legends for the most part are like still around and still alive. So like all of us in this room, like we're all different ages, but like we know about Michael Jackson. We know about like the older stuff, right? And like, you know, it's kind of scary when you think about the idea that like we're always just still referencing the same eras.
Yeah.
Like, well, you know, in the 80s, like, obviously, like, you know, it was a long ass time ago, but like in the 80s, they were drawing inspiration from like the 70s, right?
Right.
Or they were kind of like they were pioneering a new sound too. And then in the 90s, they were still referencing the 70s, I think. They were like sampling, you know, like 70s was like the era. 2000s, it was kind of a mess, I think, right? Musically. But then again, still referencing 70s, 80s, right? So we're in 2018, like what are we going back referencing? We're low key
Same
still
thing.
going
Same
back.
thing. Same
So
thing.
like what's going to happen in 2040?
1993.
Like will 2010 to 2020 ever be a decade of like
no.
referencing, like
Maybe-
becoming referenced?
Maybe in a Drake sense.
Right.
Maybe.
But when you
That's
think
the
about
part
it,
that scares me,
if
man.
you look back and all you've been
Like,
doing is recycling
is it just that era? Like so then when you think about the people that made the music in that era, it was Quincy Jones, it was this person.
Right.
Maybe they do have a point. Maybe they're right. You know what I mean? These old heads, like maybe maybe they know, man. Something about them. Like they knew what they were doing. Maybe we don't. I don't know. It's really a deep
different
conversation.
people and
Guys, let us know in the comment section.
Yeah.
Don't be scared. What do you guys think of this?
Because
This is-
it's like there's so many other factors that go into
To
like why
everything.
everything like
Yeah.
labels aren't necessarily important anymore, and I feel
And
like
then,
that's
you
a
know, the
big
internet
thing.
changed
and then
everything.
the internet
Yeah.
came and just like wiped out everything. Now we have it where people are making their own playlists, people are putting up their own music and selling their own music and making their own bubbles, where like that wasn't really heard of back then. It was either like you was clicked up and you were like an artist and people knew you and that was it. But now it's like everyone has their own hustle. And like that's like I feel like that's just the mode we're in right now. Where like anybody could throw something at the wall now.
Exactly. Well, we'll see. I mean, we're the music creators, so it's up to us.
Right.
It's up to us to push the button and really push music forward. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta do that. But
it's just scary to like even think, what's the internet gonna be like in 2040?
It's gonna be. We're gonna be. I think we are gonna be connected to each other through technology, and like it's gonna be a lot of like robot stuff.
Oh, the digital revolution will have happened. I'll say the digital revolution will be in full-fledged. That means, for people who don't know, when the industrial revolution happened, that was when machines replaced people.
Oh, you know what? Algorithms
and that's
are
exactly
the future.
what's going to happen again. You see these self-checkouts, you see these kiosks, you see that
Word.
You are not about to have a job in about 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
I seen a video somewhere.
Self-driven cars.
Yeah.
I know this kid, he posted a video. He was like in a fast food joint. I don't know where, but it was like a robot kind of thing. It was like half the body from like the torso up, and it was like it was doing, I don't know if it was like mixing the French fries or something.
Oh no.
And he's like, what the fuck is going on?
No.
You hear
in
that?
the kitchen, like mixing the fucking fries. And
Here's the
You better
scary,
find
here's the
something
scary
to do.
thought. Here's a scary thought. Before we take a break, my man Angelo made a post about how his prediction for the future of music is algorithms. So basically, and this is like so fucked up, and I hope this doesn't happen, but I think it might. Basically, there's going to be computers that have really complex algorithms that randomize in like a organized fashion different like songs and beats and chord progressions automatically, but they're modeled from like groundbreaking pieces of music. So like an algorithm that could model like a Michael Jackson type song, an algorithm that could model like from like a Beatles song, or like from this song, or from Adele, who knows. So like, and different genres. So like imagine, you know, based on your Spotify playlist, the type of music you like to listen to, you can just hit like an algorithm button, and then the robot will produce like a new set of music for you that according to your likeness you will enjoy. And then they calculate that based on like the types of chord progressions and drum patterns, and like it's all computers doing it. Like basically computers are making music. No more people making music. I personally don't believe it.
Yeah, I was like, I thought about it for a minute. I was like,
I personally,
well, no.
if that does happen, I think that's way past our lifetime. But I don't believe that that's
But
possible.
I have heard like maybe like a year and a half ago of like some shit online that can like master your tracks.
Yeah, that's Lander.
Yeah, Lander, yeah.
Lander's cool,
That's
but
cool.
Lander, here's my
But
thing.
even that is like,
That's
It's
kind of
just-
like, because I've used Lander, and Lander's cool. Shout out to y'all. And if you guys aren't familiar with Lander, if you're an independent artist that is on a budget or you want to invest in the quality of your sound, you can go there. If you can't afford the mixing or the mastering of your track, you can go to Lander for the mastering. My thing that I don't like about them is if you master it once and you don't like that sound, they only give you a little clip for one. And I understand that because they don't want them. They don't want it to be like tampered with, or like they don't want you to fully rip the song. But they should let the listening time stamp to be a little longer. And if you don't like it, you have to pay for the master again. So there's not even like a remastering option,
No remaster.
which I like don't appreciate because I'm already spending my
you
money.
heard the feedback,
so
Lander, if you're
I
listening.
think you guys should fix that
Yeah, you guys
as
should
a
fix
user.
that.
Yeah.
Lander, what you guys might play around with is give the consumer the full master in high quality, but just put drops over the whole thing.
Oh yeah, that would work
Try
too.
that.
The people would be
Lander.com.
pissed. Yeah, Lander.com, and let it play for like
get
30
your song
seconds.
mastered.
If
To
you
get your
really
song
want this
mastered.
to get the full song,
Right, to get the full version of this master.
Please contact me via email for full version.
oh shit, that's PS2. not know. I did not know. It was
Please
the
enjoy
piano.
this version 1 of your Call me if you have
To
issues.
listen ad free.
If you have any issues, email me at john@blender.com.
To listen
It's like
ad-free.
sick of ads. Yes,
Want
I
to
am.
get rid of these ads?
Yeah. To listen to this song.
Tired of
free
fucking
ads.
hearing my voice? We'll pay $14.99.
Listen to this song in full. www.
And then it's fucking talking over the whole master that you can't even hear the master. It's like, what
So
the
if
fuck?
you notice
hear my
on this
shit.
part, we EQ'd. Like, it's like, what the fuck? I
Can I
can't even
listen
hear.
to this shit?
Lander, get it together. Just a
Yeah.
little bit. Womp.
Yeah. Anyway, so we have a special guest today. Did he hit you?
Oh, yeah.
I'm waiting. Yeah,
Yeah,
let
so-
me hit him.
We got a special guest today, guys.
Water is bomb.
This guy has produced a lot of stuff. We're gonna pick his brain. He's had a really amazing past few years. Produced on Huncho Jack, really big in the Atlanta scene. Did some stuff with Travis. What do you do? Superstars for
He's
Migos.
on Culture too.
Culture 2.
I mean, Culture also.
Yeah, the
first
first
one.
one and
Nice.
the second one, right? Yeah,
Culture.
he did Superstars, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of big records. This dude is dope, man. Buddah Bless. We're gonna pick his brain on his journey. So let's talk to Buddah Bless. All right, guys, we're here.
Yep.
BLAPCHAT episode 64. We're here with the amazing Buddah Bless, coming all the way from Atlanta. Let's give a round of applause.
Thank you.
Buddah Bless.
Welcome.
That make me feel real special.
Yeah, man. First of all, appreciate you taking the time out.
Nah, thank you, the legend,
I'm
man.
saying?
I really appreciate
Thank
y'all
you.
having me here. All
Definitely.
Thank you,
three. All
man.
three, y'all.
Yeah,
All three
yeah.
of y'all.
We actually have another co-host, but
But
he was
he's
sick.
sick.
He's sick.
Oh.
My man
Shout out to
Atlas.
Atlas.
He's missing out.
Yeah.
But it's cool. We got Buddah here. So coming all the way from Atlanta. First of all, I want to start by congratulating you. First of all, on all this stuff. We're gonna get to that.
Thank you.
But my man Timbaland shouting you out.
Yeah.
My man Timbo shouting you out. Hold on.
Some
You know what I'm saying?
bombs, a little.
Tim, listen, we say this all the time on this podcast. Like, this is like the producers podcast. So most of our listeners are producers, engineers, songwriters, rappers, stuff like that. And like, to me, Timbo is pretty much the Quincy Jones of the hip hop beats, in my opinion. Like, he's just like the all around guy. And like, to get, that kind of cosign from someone like him, I mean, must feel really good. So like, how does that feel? Like, what was that experience like when you found out, like you saw it? Like, where were you when that happened?
Man, I was at LA Fitness playing ball.
Oh, we're-
So you playing ball, you go check your phone in and out. So I see a bunch of my phone.
Notifications.
So I'm looking at it. So I get back in the car. It's like somebody like, yo, did you see him? And it's probably like an hour and a half, 2 hours into it being actually on the internet.
yeah.
I was with my boy Nui.
Uh-huh.
We looked at it. And we went to Medusa. We went to the club. We went to this club in Atlanta called Medusa. We went to Medusa and just dropped the records. The Modern Slavery and
Yep.
Saint Laurent Mask record. Like,
Oh my God.
yeah. They we just we want to go here. We like testing the records and hearing it out how it sounded in the club. So we just went straight to the club.
Uh-huh.
Went right back to work.
Crazy. What a feeling. I mean, that's the best feeling I could say is like when you work so hard as a producer. And to me, I don't know what you think, Buddah, but like it never really gets old. Like when you produce a record and like you see it being played at a club for the first time, or you hear it on the radio. No matter how many times it happens, it's always.
It's like crack.
Yeah.
It's like, and then your first record you got, and it start dying down a little bit. You like, I need another one.
Right.
Now you're back.
Yeah,
in.
you know what I'm saying. And then after like the 2 Chainz and Drake, the Big Amount record. That record was out for a while. I was like on radio a lot. It did real good on radio, but I was so worried about not being on one hit. Like I'm like, man, I need something else. And you get in it, then Migos record, Callcasting, the first Culture, then everything. It's just a wheel. You just gotta keep pushing. After a while, when it slow down, all you gotta just do is nudge it instead of just. You know what I'm saying? Just keep applying pressure on it. Yeah,
Exactly. And I feel like when you find a rhythm with this stuff, like then it just keeps happening, right?
And artists like, and after a while, like what I'm really starting to see, like artists become like in the industry, everybody fans of everybody. Like artists like who heard Migos album or 2 Chainz album, like hear my tag and like, oh, I like that, and like a lot of like rappers started like just DM me like literally like directly DM me or get a number from Slim or whatever the case may be, but it's, you know what I'm saying,
it just bubbles from there.
Yeah,
It snowballs.
yeah.
Like, yo, I need that.
Yeah, and they know you, so when they come to you, they coming to you knowing
what you got.
they looking for, okay, I need this, and he bring to the table.
Yeah, this is exactly right. This is what we were talking to Sunny Digital about, how it was like, you want, as a producer, you want the artist to come to you for you.
Right.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
As opposed to, like, yo, you know, like, trying to barter them. It's like,
See, but, I really play, like, like, I really, and I come from a different culture or background, so I'm from New York. Like, I'm, like my father, my mom, like everything, but I was raised down south.
I was gonna say, because you have a southern accent a little bit.
Yeah. I was raised in Atlanta.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But shout out Alpha Rose, Stone Mountain, all that.
yeah.
Had
Come
to
on.
put the hood on.
Let's go.
Yeah. So, but it's I don't feel like what I call, not like who said it to me. Somebody said it. I can't quote who said it. It was like, man, I don't feel like you not polluting the sound.
Yep.
Like, you come out with a record and you just force that same sounding record on the next artist. Like, literally, like the doop or whatever, like me going to run the Big Amount flute through everybody record because it worked.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, being able to be in the studio and be creative and do something else, and it worked. You know what I'm saying? Like, it may be a good thing or bad thing, because you can go straight to a, like Zayto. I think I'm starting to find my niche, especially with that soul sample, with that trap on it. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm finding that's that Buddah Bless. Everybody's on the, hey man, give me that. Because I go to an artist and give him him.
Yeah.
But
they want you.
Yeah.
That's so interesting that you say soul. So before you got here, we were talking about, you know, pretty much talking about soul music and how, you know, for a long time, we as music creators, regardless of what genre we produce in, we always go back to soul. We always go back to like 70s soul, you know, that era. Now, what is your opinion on the idea that like there's this one era, right? I'll just say 70s for now. Obviously, there's other eras. 70s soul is such a big reference point for us, and it's been for decades. In the 80s, right? The people that were getting down in the 80s, they were going back to the 70s. In the 90s, they were going back to the 70s. 2000, 2010, all the G-Unit shit, all the other shit, going back to the 70s.
Facts.
This is 2018. We're still going back to the 70s.
I am.
So we are, hell yeah, all of us.
Yeah.
So how long can we keep this up? Like, how long can we keep going back to the 70s? And will there ever be a decade that could not outdo, but be as great as the 70s? It's deep, I know.
Yeah. I feel like it was the feeling behind it.
Yeah.
Like,
it's what they
there's
did.
a Jordan era, like, you know what I'm saying, and there's a LeBron era.
Right.
Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe. You got something that come close. You know what I'm saying? The 90s was rocking, you know what I'm saying? The 90s.
Sorry, Laker fans.
Yeah, but it's like,
so you feel like
There's
that feeling
special.
is missing now?
it's like it took different things to make records back then. Like,
Do you think technology had something to do with it?
yeah, definitely, which is a good thing, and it's a bad thing. It's a pros and a con, because like a Quincy Jones record, man, he had to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a bunch of musicians on it. They wasn't getting credit as a producer. They got paid as a musician.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And Quincy collected all it because he composed it and put it together like that. Whereas I'm doing the same thing, but it's a whole thing. But I actually know how to play and, you know, drum like in live, but it's all programmed. And then and also in the, like, you couldn't contize back then.
Yeah.
You had to to watch Quincy up there keep the tempo for you. You know what I'm saying? So different feels and emotion that's like it's synthetic, like different stuff. It's just real. It's really real.
Right.
Strings, y'all used to have to know the whole thing as a whole.
Right.
Y'all used to have to record that as a whole, and then the singer would have to come in and record it as a whole on the analog. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it give you a different feel. That's all it is. And when you hear, you just know it. Like, sometimes I had samples and just they'll play it over, interpolate, save some money. Man, fuck, I don't want.
You lose the feel.
Yeah, you lose it. You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of times it's worth it to maintain the integrity of the music. Right? It's like you don't want to lose the feel, so why ruin it? You might as well take the L on the publishing and make a great song, right?
Yeah,
goes both ways.
Good music is good music, man.
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly.
It opens doors for so much different things. Like instead of you being like petty about, I don't want the money on them.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
You mentioned that you come from a different culture of like music and that you play instruments. Could you elaborate on that?
me and my brother was the kids who sat behind the organ player at church. He sat behind the drummer type thing. Nice. Mom kept us in the church like a lot.
Nice.
That's where it started.
Saturday, Tuesday rehearsal. See, we actually played. We had, what I'm saying, my stepdad was a little passionate. We actually played and got paid for it. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
That was our thing.
That's tight.
All through high school and stuff like that. So
Nice.
that created a lot of. When it came time to lay stuff down on like Fruity Loop and Logic and stuff like that, it was just you playing it out and you just get to see it like visually, through MIDI form and all that, and wave, all that stuff.
So what was that transition like for you, coming from the church and being, knowing how to play and coming from that world? What made you decide to start making beats, and like what were those early days like? Like what DAW did you use? Like how did that happen?
My uncles, the Smith brothers, they work with A+, the latchkey child. But I watched but he came over. It was a holiday. He was just on his computer on Fruity Loop. I started on Fruity Loop. He was just chopping records. He would always go in. He would start on Fruity Loop, but go in the real studio. And then one day, like I was in 8th grade, I already knew how to play, but I took a real interest to how to make a record. Cause it was just cool. Like you just seeing it, and it's called Fruity Loop, and you just see the thing and loop around, and like, okay, so you start to get that. Then he said it was different stuff. He just started teaching me. Like I always could play by ear, so sometimes I would just go play whatever the sample's playing already, and pull a sample out and change. You know what I'm saying? It's different stuff. You learn how to make a record. Then I really got into how to make a record sound professional. Cause I used to make records, and it just be like, okay, it mechanically sound good,
right?
But it doesn't sound
Sonically,
good.
right.
Yeah, it doesn't.
The feel is not.
It doesn't
there.
hit the speakers how.
Right. You'll play something, and
Yeah,
they'll be like, it's
it'll
not
be
hitting
low,
like this.
it's low.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then you get into how to make a record, how to mix vocals, how to track vocals, how to mix your 808s, take lows. You know what I'm saying? Different stuff like that. Yeah.
So a lot of times with producers, like we learn a lot of that shit from like working with like up and coming people, right? So like for me, the way I learned how to like you said, make a song was like working with like local people, right? And then like, oh shit, like let's track, ad-libs and then pan to the left. Like you have to learn that shit.
Yeah, you do.
So like what was your experience like with that?
Man,
like making songs?
My experience, my God honest experience with that was with my boy skipping school.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I skipped school. I didn't go. I'm not saying don't go to school. I'm not saying that. I didn't go. I skipped school for this. Like really, not even like purposely. Like we would but of course purposely. You know what I'm saying? Like we would
for a good cause.
Yeah, for a good cause. You know what I'm saying? I was in the studio all night till downstairs in my mom's basement. I had set my mom's whole basement up. She didn't even know it for a year because she always stayed in her room. Yeah. But I set whole basement up, had Christmas lights and everything, and the whole the school. Me and my boy Fly, he called his name JJ. You know what I'm saying? That was our thing. So like after you go to school for 2 periods, they wouldn't call a house automatically.
Yeah. You gotta wait till you sign in and then do the attendance.
Yeah, you get that attendance there for the first 2 periods. Then after lunch, everybody was going back to Buddah house to make records, and that's how we started making records. It used to be the girls from the school, everybody who was.
And your mom was at work at that time?
My mom was at work.
She ever caught you?
Nah, it was his neighbor, man, Mr. Bruce, man. I hate Mr. Bruce.
Mr. Bruce, this is for you, Mr. Bruce. This is for you.
Mr. Bruce, man.
I know you see Buddah shining right now, Mr. Bruce.
Man, come on, man. Mr. Bruce is the hater, man.
Shout out to Mr. Bruce.
He told your mama
he
might
not slick try to get at my mom's, and it still ain't work though. Man, nah, man, he was just like, yo, man, I just seen a couple dudes at the house. I don't know what they were doing. I seen smoke at the back. I don't know what they were smoking. I don't know what it was.
Damn,
Let me tell you something.
Put out all the details.
My experience.
He was trying to get points.
My experience is almost identical to that, man. So I grew up in Jersey, in Newark, and I was in school too. I was skipping class, but like my version is like way not as cool as yours. I was skipping school because I was playing video games, right? But that's when I played video games. That's how I learned. I copped the PlayStation
Media.
no, what's it called? The MTV Music Generator.
Right, yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
So when I copped that, that's my first shit, learning how to make beats, like on a real level. And so I was skipping school. I missed 1 year in school. I missed like 40 days. Like you're not supposed to graduate for 40 days. But the reason why I passed was because homegirl that I knew, her mom worked in attendance, and she would hook me up with the passes and shit. So I got that. But then
homegirl, you see how he said homegirl?
you know?
Homegirl.
But then you know, my parents, same thing. My parents, like, I was making beats in the basement, and like every like so often there would be just random people coming through, rappers, right? And like I would sell beats, like you know, $50 here. So just imagine my mom. I'm Filipino. My parents are Filipino. They're immigrants. I was born in America. They don't know what's going on, right? Yeah. And so they see their son in the basement just like playing loud music, random people coming through, smells like weed. Yeah. And then they come in for a couple hours and they leave, and then I got $50 in my pocket. Obviously, they think that I'm doing something else. I'm selling beats. Yeah. Right, so I get
Your mom's
get
like
it.
selling beats.
Yeah, who's
right.
who are those men? Who are those shady men coming to the basement?
Shady.
Yeah, are they?
Man, my mama.
Yeah. So.
My mama friend had to come to.
Yeah.
Oh, man, my mama always supported me, but I was like, she always had ultimate support, like,
of course,
do good, roof over you, but she didn't get everything. She just like, you're not going to school. Yeah. So you got 40 days. Yeah. I man, look, I was like half the school year, like, cause I dropped out my senior year. Yeah. So she had to come drop me out. I dropped out before I was 18, but I wanted to get out, so get a job, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I got out. She came to check me out. She looked at the paper. Where do you be going? I be at home making beats. Yeah. You be at home, so you tell him, like, she think it's like, you know, she think it's some street thing going on. She smelling a little weed on me now. She know I got a little girlfriend now, you know, so it's looking crazy. Right. I was really
she like, you acting up.
Yo,
she's like, you wildin'.
Her friend had to come to her like, girl, I just heard. Yeah. And then she, like, yo.
Yeah, because, you know, they like to talk.
And she, my mom ain't the type to say, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I see, yo, you did your way, and
right,
she was like,
"Good job."
Well, you made it work.
Yeah, good job.
So how? So let's fast forward.
Well, you did what you wanted.
Let's fast forward
you made it work
to now. Like, how does she feel about like everything happening now? Like,
nah, she understands. She just be on my case about being frugal.
Yeah.
You know, like your money.
The frugal conversation.
Yeah, I'm cheap. I'm really.
It's like Charlemagne fine and frugal.
Exactly.
I'm cheap enough. I spend a lot of money on where I live, like you know, type of stuff.
Yeah,
that's good. Get a little flashy sometimes.
Yeah, every now and then.
Gotta step out. Gotta come to New York. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta step out. Bring the shoes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. These are the shoes.
No, listen. There's something Diddy said. He said, like you gotta, if you want to be a boss, you want to be rich, you gotta feel like you're rich. Yeah. You know what I mean? You gotta really feel it. You gotta believe it, and like that's why like different people invest in like that kind of stuff for different reasons. But I think like ultimately it's just like you're feeling good, you're feeling confident, and like you're gonna attract more confidence and more success that way. So I fuck with it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I really agree with that. Just because I was telling my mom, just on a smaller scale, just about like the food. I don't even like really buying food like that, but I was like, I'm always like, oh, should I get this or should I get that? And I'm like, damn, I don't want to spend that much. I want to spend $8 on a smoothie, but then at the same time, that smoothie's gonna make me feel good. Yeah, I'm gonna feel like I didn't like put anything bad in my body, so it really does get right. So it does actually start getting deeper into like. This is like a self-investment.
Of course, there's art in it.
Yeah. You're gonna get an $8 smoothie with agave in it, or you're gonna get an $8 number 5 at McDonald's.
Yeah,
which is
and has agave in it
with fucking, you know what I mean, pink slime, you know, all that shit. Crazy.
Pause.
Anyway, so
program meat.
Right.
That
so like,
sounds wrong.
so
Yeah.
Buddah, in the so obviously you're from New York, Long Island, and then you pretty much grew up in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So obviously, like all the producers we interviewed here that are from Atlanta, it seems to be a lot of like a really kind of like healthy community out there, just in terms of like, you know, building up yourself and then getting to know the right people and then really locking in with people. So like, I mean, you're everywhere, man. You're on the Migos stuff. You know, you have a lot of big records, especially in the past few years. Would you say that a lot of that has to do with the fact that like your work ethic in Atlanta is just like so on it?
Atlanta. See, when I was young, I used to troll my mama for dragging me down. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, it's all God, man. Cause Atlanta, like, it ain't even like gangs. It's like everybody rap, everybody wanna. It's like Atlanta make millionaires every year for the last 5-6 years.
That's the truth.
I can name you a millionaire made. I'm trying to be next one.
Shit, I'm
Exactly.
trying to.
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
about to-
And
It's good. It's a good music.
One-
it's a
1
good
million
music
liquid.
place.
if you don't have anything popping in Atlanta, like anything,
That's hard.
like with anybody,
You're not doing anything.
Like I'm talking about
Yeah.
a Love and Hip Hop cast member, a record on
Something.
him.
Yeah.
Anybody, you just
Yeah.
not.
You're
you
not
know,
good enough.
You just sitting.
You're sitting at home.
You could be good
with
enough,
nothing.
but you could just be in your box to where you ain't getting out. Like some
Good.
people, like Atlanta is real clubby. It's very clubby. If you could get a lot done know how to move in the club. A lot, a whole lot.
Right.
The DJs. Oh my God, the DJs is a lot of situations I got into. A lot of situations, you know, with artists dealing with the artist DJ. They with them all the time.
Yeah.
They trust the ear already. You know what I'm saying? So in Atlanta, you know, that same DJ might have a night at Magic City or a night at,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? You pulling up on him. We got artists and stuff like that. Cool America Fly. We going them in to break records too. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So Atlanta, man, if you don't got nothing, I have no like just back. It's AMG, like the big homies. You know what I'm saying? I was the little homie. These are big homies. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no corporate head person. You know what I'm saying? That is, and I'm comfortable like this too. You know what I'm saying? I like how we and the things that we accomplish. Migos, you got Culture 1 and Culture 2. You got Dolph Bulletproof and Dolph Thinking Out Loud. Huncho Jack, Travis Scott and Quavo. Kanye West on one of them with Bad Bitches Only.
Tell them.
You know what I'm saying? That made me feel
Tell 'em.
good. You know what I'm saying? Like by the time if I do get to that situation, I want that back.
Yeah.
How
The
did
back
those
back.
placements come about? Like,
Atlanta.
Yeah.
but like even Drake and 2 Chainz, like how did that specific? How did you
Yeah.
get that?
Drake and 2 Chainz, you know, his DJ, 2 Chainz DJ Issa, he had a situation where, you know, he brought me into the situation. I dropped some beats off on Chainz. He recorded some records, and, you know, he recorded a record while I was there, but I dropped the pack off on him, like, you know, left a bunch of beats. And 5 months later, it literally just happened like that. They was like, yo, because, you know, he went back, he listened, he vibed with it, he recorded something. Drake came through, him and Future came through on the Summer 16. No, I think it was a little bit before that. And he said, yo, he went through the records and he just picked it.
That's it.
Literally, like, it was just, like, God. Like, that was supposed to happen, like,
Yeah.
and everything, every other
yeah.
record spilled after that.
After that,
yeah,
right.
It's Drake.
Yeah.
Once
like-
you do that, yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Chainz give me a lot of shine. He gave me 4 of them on his album.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? He gave me
Amazing.
a lot of shine. 2 Chainz.
on
Salute.
Pretty
Amazing.
Girls.
Pretty Girls Like Trap
Have you
Music.
guys?
Which ones did you do on Pretty Girls?
I did Trap Check. I did, well, Big Amount was on there too.
Okay. Yeah.
Sleep When You Die
Uh-huh.
and Dough Swinging.
Okay. Those are
Crazy.
like a lot of my
Yeah, how I
favorites.
used to have my dough swinging. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did the video at the Pink Trap House. Yeah, that's the video when he did the video.
See, I
Crazy.
love
I love
that
that
whole
project.
movement because he only did one. There was
Genius.
only one Pink House, right? And then other people started.
Man.
I thought that was awesome. I
Yo,
love.
yeah.
I
I
love
know
him,
y'all
yeah.
up here, man, but that man turned that Howard Mill into like a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Kids, babies, like,
Right.
barbecuing,
And
like
for 2
taking
Chainz,
pictures,
right.
like,
That's hilarious.
Barbecuing on the
For
side.
they
Titty
doing
Boy.
they
Yeah.
doing AIDS test in there. Like,
That's
folks
Yeah,
crazy.
no, he really. That's why I like
I
him.
love that, man.
I
I
like
think
him
2
a lot.
Chainz is amazing.
Yeah,
He
he's
is.
dropping an EP.
Yeah.
Do you have anything on the new EP?
He's like,
You got
I
some?
need in. I say the same thing. Hey man, I heard on the internet I need in.
Yeah.
I need Yachty, I need in. Cardi, I need in.
Yep.
I need in. I need in on all
right,
of this.
It's crazy because one like major question we get from producers is like, obviously it's the placements. Like, how do I get placements? How do you guys do this? And every time we have a conversation about placements, it always comes down to taking initiative.
Yeah.
And like just being confident in your music. Like I could tell like when you're in the studio, I haven't been in the studio with you yet, but I could tell like you are confident in your shit. Like but like you play your role, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's a team effort.
yeah.
And you know your value. You know that your music is good enough and people fuck with it and you get the cosigns. So like what is kind of like one piece of advice for let's say I'm a new producer and my beats are really good. And I move to Atlanta or I'm somewhere LA, wherever it is, and I don't know anyone and I want to start, doing it or whatever. Like, what's like a recommendation for you in terms of like a starting point?
Everybody had their times with confidence and self-confidence. Everybody move at their own speed. Some people, you know what I'm saying? Some people like, you might be ready, you might not know you ready. And then there's the folks who know they ready but just ain't there yet. You know what I'm saying? So the folks who ain't ready, like, keep working on your craft. Who just ain't there, because it'll show. Like when you get in the studio, like don't even waste your time. Get your craft right. Like for some people, like it's almost artist development, producer development.
Right.
You in your craft. You can't get in there and you get in there and you playing your beat. You looking at the artist to see if you fuck with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like instead of like, I know this shit hard. If you don't fuck with this one, you gonna fuck with the next one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's, you know what I'm saying? Work till you get to that point. But for the ones who are ready and feel like this, they just, it's like how I get, man, just wait your oh my God, I used to hate wearing, it sounded so cliche. I'm looking in the camera because I really want people to
please.
I really want people to wait your time. Like if you doing what you supposed to do, like just do what you supposed to do and wait your time. And it'd be like, God, wait for what? Like
That's where impatience comes in.
yeah, and you know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? You see the other, young producers out there, 19, 20, like, you know what I'm saying? So you like, at that time back then, we all the same. I'm like feeling like I'm ready, woo, woo, woo. And it's just, but when your time comes, it's like,
it happens.
Like, and a lot of people be waiting for their time and like, I'm ready. Their time come. Preparation plus opportunity equals success.
Yo, facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I had a producer DM me the other day, and he's like, "Hey, I've been making beats for a long time. I've been doing beats for 3 years. I'm 23 years old. Do you think it's too late for me?"
That's sad.
he said 23.
Yeah.
He said, am I too old for this?" I didn't even reply.
Right. You left him on scene.
No, he saw that I saw it, which is
Exactly.
I'm gonna
You're
reply.
like,
You know what's crazy? Nowadays, confidence will carry you a long way.
Definitely.
You could have something mediocre, but you like, boy, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
What you mean? That's sauce. What you talking about?
Yep.
Yep.
21 Savage? You know how quick that man came up?
Yep.
He wasn't, let's get this, like, he blew, but he wasn't like Future. See, Future was in Atlanta for a minute, dropping mixtape, dropping mixtape. This man dropped, and he really just started, he got shot, got some streets that want to start rapping, and he just felt himself.
Mm-hmm.
He believed him.
Mm-hmm.
And man, he dropped like 2 songs, that Slaughter Gang and another mixtape with Metro Boomin. He was out of here.
Yeah. You can't expect people to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself.
Yeah,
you're right.
Not
man.
at all.
And I think that holds very true for producers.
Mm-hmm.
You got to walk in there with that, like, confidence without coming off being, you know what I mean, like cocky or whatever it is. But
see, a lot of times, the artists, they like your work, they don't even know they like it yet though. Like,
that's a good point.
Like I'd have been in studio situation. A lot of energy you bring to the room too is like you be playing the hardest beat that his artist love, but he don't know because he just sat in the studio and listened to 5 other producers and he's just tired. He's just tired.
Yep.
He's just like, when you walk in, he's just like,
yeah. Also too, how much do you think, like, from your experience being in the studio with an artist for the first time, how much do you think, like, that artist having like a preconceived notion about you or about your music, how much does that affect that artist like liking your music or not liking it? Like you come in, they expect a certain thing, and then they're like, oh, I didn't expect.
Yeah. See, that's why I try to, like, every artist you heard me work with, I had a personal contact. So it's like it's feeding them ideas.
Yeah.
And the more the ideas that you originally had without them saying anything work, the more they just start believing in, like,
They start trusting.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
he on Billboard.
Right.
You know, he got 2 songs on Billboard. He saying something.
Right.
Like, even though you an artist, you know what I'm saying? It ain't like I'm another artist telling you, like, nah, man, don't say that like that.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, yo, put you on this, it's gonna be big.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest thing with producers is just getting that initial, like, getting those initial wins in the beginning to then kind of use that as leverage, you know? Because in the beginning with no leverage, it's tough.
Yeah, that's why.
Because you're just
You're
ground
just
zero.
At the end of the day, man, I don't know. My mama don't pray for me at church. Like, I don't do wrong. I don't do people wrong. I never judge nobody. I never scam nobody. I never put no car. Like, you know, good karma stuff come back too. But like you gotta give. I can't act like I can sit here and say I don't believe in y'all. So a higher power, God did something special.
Absolutely.
Like, yo, I was at home. Like, yo, 2 Chainz and Drizzy on this song. I'm like, the person who texted me, they said Drizzy. So I'm like,
Drake.
I'm saying
Like
Dreezy.
You mean Dreezy?
Yeah,
Because that's cool too.
Yeah.
The
You don't want
rapper,
to, right?
the
You don't want
Ryan.
Yeah.
Shout out Dreezy. You know
to. No,
what I mean?
Dreezy is tight.
But I'm like, I said, my nigga, you mean Drake? He was like, yeah. Produced by Buddah. Then they called me to the studio, listened to the record. I don't mean to see, I aim for a lot. I aim for a whole lot. Like, I was so mad at that Big Amount record when it first came out.
Why?
It ain't have a hook on it.
Oh,
I was so, I'm like, before the record came out, I heard it. You know, they played Drake part. I'm like, oh, what's up? Shout out Bankroll. Where the hook at?
Where the hook?
I told him, I said, yeah, we try to throw a little hook on there.
Yeah.
You know, I had Cool America even try to do some couple hooks, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Give him a couple looks, and it was just like,
Yeah.
Chainz was like, nah, man, I like it how it is.
Yeah.
Man,
Executive
they
decision.
just said I want a big amount, but it go like, and that taught me too, and the record still platinum. Like, it showed me, like, hip hop, like, and it changed, like, it changed, like, it don't, if it's a hit record, it go.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I used to, cause I'm like, man, you got Drake on it. When I first heard it, I was like, no, he did a hook. It's Drake.
Right.
You got to do a hook. Oh my God,
but
Drake
you know
did
what the
for
hook
me.
was? The flute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
And
that's what the hook was. Was
And
the flute?
That's crazy.
Because that's why I remember that.
That's
like,
crazy.
Yep.
That it makes me want to play Zelda.
Yeah. I got Zelda.
Yeah,
What else I got?
But I can't picture that record with a hook at this point.
No,
Yeah, at this point,
and
you
it's
can't.
I
still
know exactly
fire.
what he was going for, like a time. Because when I hear that takes me back to like being in the, like, I'm from Oakland, and that's all we did was like ride in the car and listen to music. I just picture being real hot and like
Yo, it started a
bumping
little
good
wave
music.
too.
Yeah.
It started a whole little wave, like Young Ma. She said, "Ooh," one time at the end of the song.
One time.
It wasn't no hook.
It
tag.
wasn't- that's the name
I
of
was
the
looking
song.
for the hook the whole time. I didn't even. Ooh was so popular that I was hearing people just on the street going ooh,
Yeah.
but I never heard the song
Yo.
yet. So I'm thinking, okay, when's the hook
Yeah.
going to hit?
Was Ooh
right at
big
the
in
end.
Atlanta?
Huh?
Was Ooh big in Atlanta?
Yeah.
It was big.
Yeah, even
That's my temperature.
because
like,
Atlanta got a lot of New York, like
Yeah.
Nah, man. Atlanta.
They be coming out. Them New York
That's
niggas
what I'm
was
saying,
like,
Listen.
they were going crazy.
Being
in
from
there.
New York, listen. If you're no disrespect to New York, if your record pops in New York, that's great. But if
But
it
it
pops
has-
in Atlanta, it gotta pop in
Yeah.
Atlanta. Like if your shit is not popping in Atlanta,
It's not popping.
no.
Yeah, she did good.
That was
She
a
did
good
good.
clip.
She
That was a
did
good
good.
Shout out to
sweep.
Young M.A., man. I'm rooting for her, man.
Yeah,
I hope I'm sure she's got some shit locked in and loaded. So, Buddah, what's coming up, man, that you can mention? I don't want to get you in trouble and shit.
Nah,
what's
I ain't
coming?
gonna play no records.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, what's coming?
Dude, we got YFN Lucci, Ray from Summer Hill. Got a couple records on that. Travis Scott, Astro World.
Astro. Oh
Nice.
shit.
What else we got, Slim? Dolph. I mean, I stay in the studio with Dolph.
Dolph?
That's my boy. Like,
Yeah, Dolph. I like Dolph a
you
lot.
sit down. You see. Sometimes I go to the studio just to gamble. Like with Glock, all the little partners, they be 2K and dice on the pool table. Like, yeah. So Dolph. I stay with records with him. But me and Quavo, I still flood Quavo. The Change that's coming out, the EP coming out. My boy Jabs too. I just signed his producer name. Hit him with the Jabs. He did a Key Glock. We got YG. We did me and him both did we got a record with YG, Black Youngster, and Lucci. It's called YNS, out everywhere.
Nice.
Right now, as of right now.
Go get that.
I love Black Youngster.
Yeah, yo, he funny. Yo. And you know what's crazy? He don't be like playing.
No,
Like in that, there wasn't a camera. We was in the studio. There was no camera. He was just like, yeah.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I just love him. He feels that's somebody who like really feels themselves and
he
like
won.
he
He
really
won.
don't care. He wins
Man, that man
automatically.
don't be playing. That man really like that. And I was tripped. I'm like,
He's silly. He goofy.
Yeah,
He like
yeah.
super goofy.
yeah, he ain't want no crazy drugs. You know, he drugged up. Man, that man,
No,
He's just got a really good
He's just
man
happy. He's just living his life. Living
man
his
be
best life.
sweating his whole Gucci shirt out just in the studio. Don't tell he was crazy.
Amazing. Well,
Bruh.
Buddah, man, I have a feeling it's gonna be another big year for you. Obviously, you know more than anyone. Work ethic, man. The sound is crazy. Just, man, it's just all the hard work, man. It's just paying off.
Coming to everything. It's paying off. The school skippings,
all that
All
shit.
of it.
the not going to colleges, the staying down, like not saying don't, but it's everything I was planning for my life, for me,
Yeah.
it paid off.
Exactly.
Well, you put the work in, and that's what I think it boils down to: is putting the work in to
Being
do something you
consistent.
really want to do.
And being consistent.
Yep.
Being consistent, yeah. So Buddah, check it out. We do this segment on our podcast called BLAP or Crap, where basically, so we have beat submissions from producers. We're gonna choose them at random.
Oh yes.
We're gonna play a 1-minute snippet.
I can't wait.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I only
This is what
need,
we're
I
gonna
only
do.
need 20
We're
We're gonna
seconds.
do a few.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna play 1-minute snippet. If you like the beat, if we like it, we're gonna give it a blap, and if we don't, we give it a crap. And then if you want, you give it a little constructive criticism, what you think, blah blah blah. Funny enough, like this people love this segment. They like it when you shit on them, so don't hold back. You know what I mean?
Don't
like,
feel bad.
Like if the shit is
Don't be
trash,
I wasn't in it. Don't be shy.
Yeah.
Well, critiques. I'll be like, yo, you a punk ass bitch.
Yeah.
Don't be bashful.
Yeah, exactly. Ski wasn't
Don't be
holding back
bashful.
at
Ski
all.
Beats was pretty bad.
He
No,
was on
me and Ski
everybody.
was right here.
No, both
he
of you
knew
guys.
exactly what was.
Yeah.
Hey,
He's like, nope, that's not it.
if
Nah,
I
that
make
ain't it,
beats,
bro.
if I make beats, I'm automatically I got an opinion. If I produce, I
Word.
got an opinion. It
of
don't
course.
matter. It's
Hey,
all
listen, it's all in
preference.
fun and games. But here's at the end of the day, though, like if a beat is fire and all four of us say it's fire, like it's probably, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
This is 4 different opinions. Anyway, so
I say, if I like it, I say what?
It's a
Blap.
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 yeah.
Blap.
Crap.
Crap.
Crap. Blap.
Yeah.
Crap.
Blap
All right,
or
here we
crap.
go, guys. Blap or crap. Listen, so we're going to go to the website beatthread.com, BATTHREAD. We're going to choose your beats at random. If you want to submit for this segment, just go to beatthread.com, sign up for your account. It's free to sign up, and then just start uploading your beats. Make sure you hashtag blap or crap when you upload. And it's a cool website. You can receive critiques, give critiques, all that shit. So here we go. Beatthread.com. We're going to do blap or crap. Our first submission is by GT90.
It's a burden, bro.
Right.
Do you
All
know
right,
who I am?
GT90.
Yeah, that's a beat.
Hip hop hand. That's the hip hop hand.
This is our like hip hop arm, our old school hip hop
You
arm.
can start it.
I just
Yeah,
wanna
wait, let's see if it changes. Let's see if it
Let's see if a baseline
I
drop.
just wanna
See,
hold
yeah,
it.
song.
I just wanna hold it.
What's those
I just
vocals
wanna
in the
hold it.
back?
Till I feel the beat of your heart.
There's a girl doing spoken word in the back.
Wow, okay, all right.
I just want to like what?
Yeah, that
this is
was
not
definitely-
poetry.
Right.
This is
Yeah.
not happening. Not on that
Definitely a
He
beat.
tried to put his auntie on. So.
He
Buddah, start
did.
that
He tried
off.
to be real
Blap or crap.
creative.
I say it's crap. I see what you're trying to do. Man, you gotta put some bass in there, brother. You gotta get some.
Yeah,
And
the
your mixing sound like, just keep working. I didn't.
It was choppy. There was
Yeah.
needed some kind of low end.
Yeah, need a little more
I
instrumentation.
was waiting for
on
the
it.
struggle rap to kick in.
Yeah.
Mom's was mad poor. I was waiting for it.
No, I mean,
No, I hate you. Moldy tuna sandwiches. Fried chicken, 3 days old.
corned beef and rice.
That's all I got. That's my
Came up
struggle
with
rap.
that
That's
corned
it.
beef and rice. Damn.
GT90, I don't know,
Sorry,
man.
G. I'm crapping that too.
Georgia Tech 1990.
I hope not. Huh?
GT90, that was his picture. That said,
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, that
yeah.
okay. He's probably
Like,
like 13.
Perfection, what you think?
Yeah, that's a crap.
Yeah.
I like the drums. I didn't like the sound selection for me wasn't it. So
Only thing I like
that's
was
a
the
crap.
little sample thing in it. I could
Yeah,
build
the
off,
piano shit.
I could build off of that, but everything else
Strip
was
it.
a
Yeah.
no-go.
Exactly. All right, this next submission is by ES Pop, Espo Productions, actually.
Okay.
Espo Productions. Espo.com.
The girl being sexy doesn't make the tag anymore.
I get what he's trying to do.
I get it too.
He don't. It's like he got a bass with an 808 too.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, it's like,
Also, the bass line doesn't really make sense.
yeah.
It's a
Perfection,
random.
how do you feel about that snare?
I'm not mad at it. Actually.
I think
there-
it's
yeah.
whack as
I'm
fuck.
not mad at it.
No, we
I
have this
mean,
thing
they-
where Perfection, we had a submission and the snare was like terrible, and she was like, "Man, that snare was whack as fuck."
Yeah, I just came out of nowhere and I was
inspired
like,
her
yo,
to
that's
say that.
snare. But I didn't mean to say
No, it's
it
a
that
thing
way.
now though, because people tweet her like, hey, "Was my snare whack
I
as fuck?"
said it with
the other
so
day?"
much passion, but I didn't mean to, and we
Damn.
all started dying. So now it's like, is that snare whack as
Oh, they
fuck or
come to the
not?
snare. You the snare lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, how does that snare? Because I
Got
wasn't
that
a
Nick Cannon
fan.
swag.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it wasn't bad,
Devin.
but for me there were
Hey,
other
Gigolo
things.
was hot.
Right. I think it had. I think.
It had
The thing
potential.
that ruined, it had potential. Like the bass just didn't make any sense. Like it was random notes. There really wasn't like really any musicality in there. Like especially
There
if
was a
you can-
random crispy snare in there, like as like a accent, like a ricochet. It
Yeah.
wasn't
It
even
didn't really
like.
work.
Yeah.
It didn't really
No.
work.
He put a little trap 808. I know what sound. I know what drum kit you got there from. You got it from that Beethoven drum kit.
Hey,
Using
hey.
the Illmind. Man, nah,
Come
man.
on.
You can't be goddamn. You got
Nah.
pit one, brother. You come on.
Let's go. Come on, Buddah Bless knows, man.
Let's do it.
Yo,
Let's go.
I know it.
what else
All
we
right,
got?
so that was a crap. Okay, so our next submission is by Flight School.
Everybody claimed they're the best and they had the throne since Big is gone. If you ask me, they dead wrong. My flow is hotter than the flash from the clip. When the hammer
just see where
slaps the
this
bullet
goes.
on the ass from the clip, you wind up in a room full of my dogs. I have you feeling like a fire hydrant.
Cut that intro.
That made no sense. I'm trying to find the sound.
This sounds like a thug cowboy intro
Right.
type of thing. I don't know how I feel about it.
What's going on here? What's going on?
I feel like it's like slowed down.
You know what? Y'all call me crazy, but Tyler the Creator will get on this and make it
Some wild shit, right?
25, baby, live,
Right. Oh shit.
with the pies. I be dividend, criticized under my mama died. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, you just changed the game with that.
It'd
Man.
be like some
Tyler.
mad.
Everybody
It'd
claimed
be
they're
like
the
some
best
mad
and they
evil
had
genius.
Intro has to go though.
It sound eerie,
Damn.
but he be so off. It make it work.
See, that's so interesting. Like how you pick the right vocalist for certain tracks and like it could
Yeah.
work.
That's still bad.
Still bad. I'm glad. No,
Hey,
talk to him,
look,
Glam.
Hey, look, go.
I crap it.
Okay, we're
It's
crapping.
crap for me.
All right, crap.
Playing spades. I say I have a possible.
Yeah, there you go.
You would say it had potential.
It's
But it's
possible.
still
It ain't a platinum record. It's one of
No.
them. It's one of them Dark Vader goth people sitting in their rooms by themselves to watch it. They like,
That's when
Exactly.
your friend, you're like,
Exactly.
she's like, I just made a beat today. You want to hear it? And that's the beat. Like that's how she sounds. But she's like real weird. Like, you want to hear it?
Yeah, do you want to hear it? I put this
Let
weird
me know what
intro
you
in
think.
here from one of my favorite freestyles. No. Crap, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
But
crap.
I think that's interesting what you brought
Yeah,
up. Like,
yeah.
if you throw Tyler or something.
Yeah.
We usually do that too.
he's so weird and off like that.
All right, Flight School, I would recommend calling Tyler up, try to get him
Yeah,
first. But
yeah.
if you can't, then, you know, that
Make your own artist who can
You know
fit
that
that.
little icon on the bottom right-hand corner? I think drag it up in there. That'd be nice.
Back it up and dump. Back it up and dump.
But
Hey,
no,
back
listen,
it up and dump.
in all honesty, like, if you find the right artist to, like,
Yeah.
understand that
Yeah,
vibe, you
yeah.
might do something. Yeah. All right, we'll do a couple more.
But
All
me and my homies ain't riding around to that.
Nah,
in
nah,
Atlanta.
Right.
No,
No.
no.
Look at y'all like, they must be from Delaware or
Yeah,
something.
right.
Yeah. No,
That's
no.
that deep in the hills, Cali. shit.
No. All right.
Don't go for my soil.
Kind of.
That's that heels music. You better watch them heels.
Hidden hills.
That is the Hills music. Let's be careful.
All right, guys. Our last submission is by Graham. Here we go. There's a lot of random hi-hats today. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate
I
it.
hate his kick already.
I hate that.
It's like a 909.
Already too much going on. Why don't the intros have anything to do?
You could take that snare and make some fire with it, though. But
What's
This
up?
kick-
So with the snare,
The
you
kick
dig
and
it?
the snare.
I like that snare.
Snare guy.
The kick and the snare could be used a different way for some
Yeah.
others, something else.
This is another Tyler joint.
My eyes real dark. I'm gonna go into the park. I'm gonna go spark. Everybody knows who the fuck I really are. Fuck a star every time I go this. Just ripped a bitch. I just told her to suck on my balls.
Why you being a dick?
All right, I'm gonna keep mine short. I'm gonna crap that, but I
58,
like that
59.
snare. I think if you,
He gets two.
I would, if I were you, I would delete the whole beat, keep the
Keep the
snare,
snare.
and then
I
make
like
something
the
out of
snare
that
and the
snare.
kick.
That snare had like a thing
if I
about
had to,
it.
hey, if you listening, stop using that 909. Stop using that.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, we
intro
ain't
was
for that
really.
kinda shit.
The intro was so weird. That intro was so weird.
Stick to that techno, brother.
Yeah. That was like
Feels weird.
what's that 80s? Oh, that 80s group that used that kick all the time. It was like a 90s house kick. That yeah, that shit. Yeah.
I gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta leave.
I gotta go.
Crap. Yeah, anyway. Guys, listen up. If you want to, man,
That was all craps.
Or
No
blaps.
blaps.
We be getting blaps sometimes. When
Yeah,
we get the
last time we
blaps,
got
it's-
some really good
Yeah.
ones.
Can they interest you in
But-
some craps?
Yeah,
some
craps,
craps.
man. Listen, guys,
Smoking a pancake?
we need heat from you guys. So go to beatthread.com, BEAT.
Please.
THREAD. Upload that fire, please. And make sure you hashtag Blap or Crap, and we'll choose you at random for next week. But yeah, that's it, man. Buddah Bless, man. Thank you for
Buddah
coming.
Bless
Still
this
again.
beat. Y'all can follow
Blessing
me on
us.
Instagram, Buddah Bless
Yes.
this beat. BDDAH, Buddah AH, not HA. This the proper way. Beat the proper way. If you know how to spell it.
If you know how to spell.
If you know how to
Bless this
spell
beat.
it.
Buddah
At least
Bless.
if you got past 8th grade, you need to know how to spell it.
Yeah, you should be
Bless
fine.
this
Yeah.
beat.
Yeah, man. Damn, really looking forward to all the shit you dropping, man.
Man.
Make sure you guys
Word.
follow Buddah. You know what I mean?
See, I'm gonna put you on the spot. See, since we in front of everybody, I need a record, man. Like,
oh,
Boom.
bro, it's already done.
all right,
man.
see,
did
look,
it.
now we got that on camera, right? Like, mama,
Yo, that
we got
joint-
that on camera.
Listen,
I'm gonna hold them
listen.
hostage now.
The Illmind Buddah Bless collab was RIAA certified already. We ain't
Yo,
gonna make it,
hey,
you know
look,
what I'm
man.
saying?
Hey, you know what's the wave? The wave is like tackling one artist.
Mhm. And just go hard.
7, 8 songs.
Yeah.
I know you got that. I
gotta come to Atlanta.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I'm gonna come to Atlanta.
Yeah, I got the Atlanta song.
I'm not feeling this weather too,
Come on.
so it's like
Come
I
on.
need
Aren't
to
you
get
there in
out.
April or something like that?
I am actually coming out to Atlanta in April. I'm doing a little thing. I'll we'll schedule
hell
shit.
yeah.
We should lock in. So we should definitely do that. Let's give a round of applause for my man Buddah Bless for joining us.
Yes.
We out of here. Blap.